If there's one character in FF15 who has a real knack of hitting me right in the feels, it's Prompto. Our dear Prompto, our dear Chocobo photographer, and his DLC is coming out this month. What day this month we don't know, they haven't actually told us. Perhaps they'll tell us at E3. But I'm really looking forward to this DLC because of the reason why Prompto is next. The reason why it's happy to said the Bros DLC are structured Gladiolas, then Prompto, then Ignis, is due to how significant the DLC is on the story. So we can expect Prompto's DLC to be far more significant on the story, and I'm really looking forward to this one because I can just tell it's gonna be a tearjerker. It's gonna be an emotional roller coaster. It's gonna be grittier than a Scotsman's breakfast. Because the kind of questions that Prompto's DLC has to answer and where it's taking off from is a really dark place. Now, what questions you ask? Well, here it is. 6 questions the Prompto's DLC absolutely must answer. Prompto fans unite, let's do it. Let's go. At number 1, Noctis' betrayal. And this is why it's going to be the Grit Fest, because Prompto's DLC is going to take off from when he's been pushed off the train by Noctis, and I really think that the DLC should open with this. I wanted it to take a few steps back and redo the scene where Arden disguised himself with Prompto, which subsequently led Noctis to attack. Let's see it actually from Prompto's point of view, because it's really going to give clarification to exactly what happened. I don't think that most fans realise the gravity of what went down. Well, I mean, most people know that Noctis attacked Prompto. For a character like Prompto, who is always naturally insecure, he's always felt like he wasn't worthy enough to be Noctis' friends. We go back to Brotherhood, where he was even training to get into shape just because he didn't feel like he was good enough to be Noctis' friend. A scene like this for a character like Prompto is more hurtful than you can put words to. And seeing the scene again from Prompto's point of view is really important because it's going to put into perspective and context the really clever double dialogue that was going on that didn't make it obvious that Noctis was talking to Arden. Things like when Noctis said, "You've been following us around this whole time, it's all your fault." Oh damn, bust out the violins, because for Prompto that is his deepest insecurity, and when the gravity of the situation gets even more serious when we go to the top of the train. We believe that it's Arden who's cornered Prompto, when in fact it's Prompto who's cornered Arden. And look at it from Prompto's point of view, he's cornered the guy who's killed Luna, he's cornered the person who blinded Ignis, he's cornered the villain of the game, and then suddenly Noctis comes in and saves him. Prompto's own best friend knocks him off a speeding train that could easily have killed him, all to save the villain, and Prompto has no clue. So that's the level of hurt, confusion, betrayal that he's going to think that Noctis is a traitor at this point. He's going to be waking up injured, cold, alone, believing the person he cares most about in the world has just betrayed him. Oh damn, I'm just tearing up thinking about it. Let's move to the next question. Does he know who his father is? So Vestel really needs to play a role in this DLC because there was absolutely none of it explained in the main story. In fact, I would say that 90% of the fanbase still don't even know that Vestel is Prompto's biological father. And how would they know? Unless they've purchased the guidebook, gone to page 87, researched the family trees in depth, and or listened to a ranting, crazy theorist hobo head peasant like myself rambling on the internet. They have no idea. So for 90% of people, Vestel being Prompto's real father is still a huge plot twist. It's still a bomb that Square Enix have yet to drop, so Vestel I want to play a key role. What does Prompto know? Does he know? If he finds out just in this DLC, how's he going to react that his father is actually the creator of the Magitech infantry? And even from Vestel's point of view, what led him to even using his own son as an MT? Now, how far gone is Vestel? Does he have feelings for this son? And this leads me on to question number 3. How did Prompto escape the lab? Now, while I've considered the possibility that maybe Vestel freed Prompto, maybe he regretted his actions, I look at Vestel as character, I think, yeah, maybe this crazy bastard is too far gone, and he is too heartless. So the question remains, how did Prompto escape? Now, I really want this question to be answered because I feel it's important and significant to the story. But I feel they may not do it because if they did it via flashback, they'd have to create a young Prompto model, a child model, to actually show us how he escaped. Now, how did he go from Nifelheim to Insomnia? How did he make that journey across war-torn lands? How did he get there? Who raised him? Now, how did he become so fat? The mystery of the Prompto needs to be explained. So I'd like them to expand on the childhood years, and if they don't do that via flashback, the very least they could do is do it via dialogue. Tell us about the childhood years. No, were there other child MTs, ones he grew up with, ones he became fond of? Is that even how he escaped? Did he perform some kind of heist with the other kids, but he was the only one to survive, so they almost laid their lives down for him to escape? No, you can put so much weight on Prompto's shoulders here. I'm beginning to sound quite sadistic here, but this leads me on to my fourth question. Who is this Magitech he's pointing a gun at? This could really tie into those other questions I've asked, because what is getting Prompto so emotional here? At this point, he's always known his entire life he's an MT. Up to this point, he's killed many MTs with Noctis and the gang. So while some people have said that they don't believe this Magitech is anyone significant or anything significant, you know, this is just Prompto taking a harsh reflection on what his fate could have been, and that's why he's struggling to put that Magitech down. I think he's killed so many MTs by this point that to warrant this kind of emotional response from him, there must be something significant about this MT. Is it someone he knows? Again, tying to the other story, is he a child MT that he once knew? Perhaps one that helped him escape? That would be so emotional. Damn, I'm going to cry so hard if they bring stuff like that out of the woodwork. Would really make sense, because it could be a special kind of MT, one that is designed to go after Prompto, to torment him, one that Arden sent, a special servant of Arden. And the reason I say that is because most people forget that Noctis isn't the only person being groomed in this story. Most people think that everything Arden does, all of the manipulation, the meticulous planning, is just to get Noctis to become the King of Light. But it's not true, because the Genesis prophecy is what Arden is trying to fulfill, and Noctis isn't the only one in it. You have the blind man, you have the helper with the blonde hair, and you have the pillar of strength, which is Gladiolus, propping up blind Ignis. So Arden's planning it all out for all three characters, all four, sorry. They all have to become strong enough, they all have to face their inner demons, and I think that this is where Arden's going to make Prompto face his. So the question is, with the whole of the Nifelheim Empire pretty much wiped out at this point, what kind of MT has Arden sent to torment Prompto? Could it be a friend or a face he once knew, or could it be so much more than that? Just like how Arden turned Idolus into a demon and got him to attack the four bros, just like he used Ravus. He turned Ravus into a demon. Even early in the story, he used Ravus to bash Gladiolus' ego. Was that all set up by Arden? Because that's what subsequently sent Gladiolus to even go and see Gilgamesh. I believe that Arden set all of it up. So what I'm saying, guys, is could it be Verstale? Oh my goodness, would that not be a twisted yet just and deserved irony if Verstale himself got turned into an MT, and that's who Prompto's pointing the gun at? That would definitely warrant this level of emotional response out of Prompto, and I really hope this is where the DLC goes. I hope that we believe this MT is just a servant of Arden that is leading Prompto on a chase. But once he finally catches it, he finds out it's his own crazy ass father. Oh my goodness, that would be incredible. Moving on to question 5. What happened to Nifelheim and the surrounding villages? So this is really interesting in the fact that a new area is being built for Prompto's DLC. We didn't really get to explore Nifelheim, but quite clearly we're going to get to go off the beaten track. And there have been rumours coming out saying that they've built quite an expansive amount of Nifelheim for us to explore as Prompto. Now we have seen though from people who have glitched through the map that there was a hell of a lot of Nifelheim that they started working on but didn't finish. Have they now finished it for the Prompto DLC? I think there's a real possibility they could have. So unlike the Gladio DLC, this episode might not be linear. Maybe it will be open world, maybe we'll get to see far more of the area, and if we do, I hope we get to see more about what happened to the nations of Nifelheim. In chapter 13 we were given details about it, but it was only in books. It kind of explained that they try to grow as many MTs as possible, kind of what MTs, like what Prompto was, but when that ran out, they went to places in Nifelheim surrounding Gralia and they just started kidnapping entire villages of people. I'd like to see some of that. Even if it's just Prompto happening upon one totally abandoned and derelict village, it would be a really macabre thing to see. Hell, if you want to take Prompto's DLC to a whole new level of dark, have one survivor. One person who managed to evade capture. I don't know, it could be one dude who's totally lost his sanity, come back to the village that's totally destroyed, and yeah, he just lost everything, and Prompto has to deal with some sort of dialogue or conversation with him, but he won't leave. You know what I'm saying, guys? This could get dark. If you was to let me write this part of the story, oh, I would have a field day with it. And my final question is, how did Arden then recapture Prompto, and kind of what happened during his time in prison? From the small snippet of a scene we saw of poor Poor Prompto pointing his gun at that MT on the tundra in Nifelheim. How did he go from that to when we next saw him, which was imprisoned by Ardyn in the Growler factory? The reason this is making my really important questions list is because this is a real opportunity to see more of Ardyn, to see more of his mindset. You know, the entire time that Ardyn has Prompto, dialogue would have inevitably gone on between them. Maybe get into the real details of the prophecy, or just have Prompto have to sit on the sidelines as he watches his fellow brothers walk into every single trap that Ardyn meticulously laid out in the Growler factory, helpless to do anything. Oh, the possibilities are limitless with this DLC, and Square, you need to capitalise in on it. So I cannot wait to see what they pull out the bag with Prompto's DLC. I will be live streaming it the very same day it comes out, no questions asked. It is my birthday on the 19th of June. Wink wink, nod nod guys. Even if it comes on my birthday, I don't care, I am playing it. I will have my box of tissues ready because I think I'm going to need it, and I can't wait to play it with you guys. Actually, I might play it the day after to allow some of you guys to play it first. For anyone who does want to experience it with me. Oh, I don't know what to do. It's a conundrum. I don't know what to do. We'll cross the bridge when we come to it. But there it is, guys. My 6 questions. What are you hoping to find out? How excited are you for this chapter in the FF15 story? And is Prompto your favourite of the 4 bros? Let me know in the comment section below. Until the next video. Kumo!